Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different video. I'm actually going to be going through some of my old Rollercoaster Tycoon 2 parks. Not the oldest ones I have, but kind of like the ones I have saved on this PC. Kind of show where I started originally. I mean, I've come a long way in building. But yeah, we're kind of going to go through some of my older parks. I do still have some of the saves for my oldest parks. We'll go through some of those, and we'll also go through current ones I finished. You see a lot of ride features from those ones. I also want to go through ones that I'm currently working on or kind of stopped working on in general and just never finished. So yeah, let's jump into it. Alright, first off, I think we're going to jump into one of my oldest that I think I have. Playing on Open Rollercoaster Tycoon 2, so it's gonna run a little better than your normal ones, but that's what I really like about it. It's just a better version of the game. Let's see, we can jump into Alcatraz first. This is a super old park. I've had this park forever. It's seen better days, and I eventually want to go through it and redo it. This was when I was a kid, still. So I mean, I've definitely spruced things up in this park slowly, but then you can see where I just done nothing. Like these two roller coasters used to look worse. They still don't have a name, by the way. Still, these used to look much worse, but they're okay now, I guess. I mean, it's fine. Obviously, this one here originally was not called Woody. It was called something else, but it used to be just one coaster. But I always wanted to make it a dueling coaster, and I think I should have just kept it at one because the dueling coaster looks terrible. There's just it used to look so much better as one, but you could tell like I was just filling space here with a straight line. I would never do that now because it looks terrible. But yeah, like you can tell which one was the addition. Like Total Overdose was here before Woody Track 2 was added. You can tell which ones were already here, and I just didn't change anything. Just, But, like I said, you can tell where I kind of modernized this park a little bit. Like, here I redid everything. This used to look a lot worse. I redid everything in here, kind of gave it a nice little edge, and I thought it turned out really nice. Obviously now I would probably get rid of this in general because it blocks off most of this and you don't really see this, which kind of sucks. But yeah, I did a lot to this area. Like, I really liked how the log lift turned out in this area when I was doing it originally. Blue Wave is another one I really liked at the time, but now I don't really like it because of the double lift hill. So like if I do see-through scenery, double lift hill. Would never do it nowadays, but I thought it was cool then. Another old one would be Archangel's pretty old. Yeah, you can kind of see this is also another newer part that turned out really nice. A nice garden area with the garden golf. It works really well. But like if I do see-through scenery, you're gonna see a ton of stuff. Like let's see vegetation as well. Like just pathways everywhere. I would never make a park like this nowadays. This would be, if I did this now, I would honestly be upset with myself. Like train tracks just going over like this. I mean, now in open, you can just go right over it. It's fine. But not then. Not when I was originally playing it. Like this here, I just covered it with scenery. Like, oh, cover it with scenery. It's fine. No, it looks terrible. I am so sad at this park. Dude, this park had so much promise, and I tried to fix it up, but I honestly need to redo most of it. There's parts I'm happy with, and there's parts I'm not happy with. Like this. I tried to make a spacey area. Didn't work out. Yeah, there's just so much I would redo now. Like, I would totally delete these two and redo them completely. I would redo all of this along here. Probably make it more like this side over here, kind of around this whole edge. Something like that. Yeah, there is so much I would do differently. I did add an island, and I kind of like how this turned out, just adding my own island. I thought it was kind of a fun idea. Should have gave it some hills. It's a little flat. All right, let's move on to another park. Roller Coaster Heaven. I'm happy with some of the rides in this park, and I want to do some ride features in here, but I gotta change some stuff. Now, this park is complete, and it's jam-packed, as you can see. Like, it's insane. I love it to death. Obviously, if I was doing it now, it'd look a lot better, but that just wasn't my thing. I mean, I tried. Like, I kind of like this area a lot here, where it's kind of like a food court area. And there's like only one way in, one way out. But yeah, there is so much stuff I would change in this. Like, the original roller coaster in here was Sniper. It used to be a different name. Very strong stats. Very strong stats. Through the Jungle, that used to be a different name as well. I like this one with the double helix. Helix? Is that, I don't think I'm using the right word. Double loop. Sure, let's go with that. Or guess quad loop. Calcutta, I like this one a lot. I like the lift and drop. Just super quick. It's a quick coaster. Black Knight. This used to be a lot different. If you see this original thing here, I just realized I don't have my fucking cursor on. Oh, whatever, that's fine. Black Knight right here. There used to be a loop-de-loop going right through the center, but now, obviously, it's not there anymore because the ratings on it were so bad that I had to change it. Now, it's much better. Excitement rating at 10 is pretty damn good. I'm still proud of this ride, but I would do it so much different because it used to never go over here into the city area. Never. But then I changed it. Like, all this stuff here is still original. Well, at least most of it's original. This is kind of where I added on and changed it. Because, yeah, there used to be a giant loop right through the center of this sign here. This one here, Super Falcon. This has gone through about, I think, 5 different changes. I think I've changed this roller coaster around 5 separate times because I was never happy with it. And now I'm kind of happy with it, although second lift hill, no. My most proud one in this park would probably have to be either Beast, which has gone through a ton of changes. Almost every ride in this park has gone through about 2 or 3 variations and have been redone. The only ones that haven't been redone are Calcutta, Sniper, and Urban Jungle. Those are the only ones that have not gone through any changes. Urban Jungle is actually one of my favorites in this park, just because of the lift hill and then like the turn and drop. Although I hate this area right here and this area where it's too flat, so I would do this totally different now. But one thing I did super late in this park was I made the entrance like in the scenery. You can't see that entrance at all. And I absolutely love how it turned out. It looks awesome. Like one of my favorite stations I've ever done. Honestly, it looks so good. I think Surf's Up is the one that's really good. Oh, the ratings on Urban Jungle are super good. 9.92 for excitement. Really good. Looping Limousine has gone through many changes. I redid it, kind of modernized it, and I like it a lot more. This used to say Car Wash, this blue one here. You can't see my cursor anyway. The Magical Witch Doctor. Low excitement rating. I don't quite understand why. Got this cool loop for here, which I always really liked how this turned out, how condensed this was for a loop in Urban Jungle. Safari's gone through a lot of changes. And I would totally do this stuff in here. I mean, actually, I did modify this a lot. Because this part over here, kind of where it goes around here, used to never be there. I'm going to turn on my cursor. This is bothering the crap out of me. I really liked how this scenery in here turned out. Kind of like this little town area. Same as over here, a little neighborhood. It took a long time to do. So there's a lot of kind of thinking about it. Now we're kind of getting a little better slowly. Like, this was an improvement from Alcatraz. Now we're gonna do a even bigger improvement, probably in the form of Mega Park. This one was another improvement. I've still got some of my favorite roller coasters in here, actually. Nowadays, I'm like, it's okay, but this was an improvement. I've slowly been getting better over time, which was the goal of me playing this game, to eventually get better and build better parks. This park was never, I don't think it was ever really finished, because I wanted to do a lot of scenery stuff with it. But it's as finished as it's going to be nowadays. Mega Park Mega Tour Monorail. What a mouthful that was. Why the heck did I think that was a good name? One of my favorite ones in this park was Mindless, where it was just kind of condensed to this pit, which I kind of like a lot. Had to have a super tall lift hill though. I wouldn't do this nowadays. I still think it's kind of cool. I really like Nitro. It's kind of a weird one. I think Hot Fire is even better, though. One of my favorite ones in this park, Pink Streak. 8.43 excitement rating. Quite small. I like how it looks still. This is one I would build nowadays. It would look a little different, like wouldn't have so many straightaways, but I do like how it looks. I don't know why, during the time, this was 2018 last time I played this save. At the time, I really liked having winter-themed areas in all of my parks. I don't know why. I just always did. It's kind of weird. Now I wouldn't really do it. I'd make a park specifically themed around it. Ice Twister, really good ride at the time. No one wants to go on it anymore for some reason. I don't know why. I guess no one really comes to this part of the park. Wildcat's a really good one. One of my best vertical drop coasters. Yeah, not really much to say about this park. It's an improvement, but I like some other parks even better. You may be noticing I am avoiding some of these upper ones that you have seen before, because those are when it gets better. Let's go to my unfinished park series, Genesis City. I have not touched this since the last video. I want to come back to it, I just don't have any ideas. I want to finish it one day, and I probably will, but I just don't have any ideas for it. I'm not used to doing Martian themed parks, I guess. So it looks weird. I like the city idea that I had, but it's not filled out enough. There needs to be more. It takes so long to do these buildings. I'll come back to it one day, I think. Rockfall Valley. Now this is one of the more recent parks that I never finished, but I'm slowly still building in it, and I'm thinking about changing the entire park to grass. I've done ride features from here before. It's got some of my favorite roller coasters in it, and some that still need to have a ride feature done on them. One of the original ones in this park is this one, who has not had a ride feature, Silent Hill, which is one of the best swinging coasters I have ever made. I love it. It looks fantastic. Now, this, I would build it. This park isn't that old. This park's maybe 2 years old or so, something like that. But nowadays, yeah, I would build stuff like this. Like, this is about where my building style is now. I like this park to a point. Jaguar is one of my favorite rides I think I have ever built. Trackstar is still one of my favorite quad coasters I've ever built. Looks awesome. We've got Nightwing, really like it. Just a small coaster. This is one I'm really proud of. Pink Pop, looks fantastic. Chippy is gonna get a video eventually. I think this one deserves to be finished. There's a lot I like about it. Moving on to the Disneyland Dream. You can kind of see I was getting a little better, but then I would just add ridiculous coasters like this. Pulse, don't need it. Laser, this is gonna get a ride feature soon. Medusa is going to get a ride feature. I really like this one. This is one of my favorite roller coasters I've ever built. Other than that, I always wanted a dueling train between them. You see this kind of dueling train running through the whole park. I wish I would have never added Poseidon into this. That was a late addition. Wish it wasn't there. Panther is one that does really well. Kind of mixed in with Eventide Supreme. Where the heck did I come up with that name? I do not remember naming it that. This is one I wish was never here. this multi-dimensional coaster, which doesn't even have a name because it was an extremely late edition. I always liked how this garden area was in here. And I always liked this kind of station. Still really nice. I still think it holds up really well. But we are starting to get to the better parks. Next, the Roman Islands. Now this has one of my most proud roller coasters in it, being the 3 Spartans. Absolutely love this area of the coaster. Looks fantastic. Also love this area. Looks fantastic. One that I always liked in this one was Accelerate as well. It's kind of really thin coaster, but still a nice design. That's pretty much it, honestly. This park was just never finished. It was too flat. I like really mountainous parks because it really makes it interesting to build in. This park was just too flat. I really like these two because they look kind of just cool. Just kind of crammed in this small little square. This was another one here, Titus. Kind of a nice floorless coaster. Would you believe me if I said neither of these 2 rivers were ever here? I did both of those by hand, and that took like 4 hours to do it by hand, but it totally changed the look of the park, and I love it. Maybe one day I'll finish this park, but I don't know. I could add hills to it, I guess. Maybe I'll finish it one day. This island is probably never going to change, but because I love the way it is, maybe adding something over here. We're going to move on to Alpine Lake, which is where I really started to be proud of my parks. Alpine Lake is one of my favorites. Love this park so much. There's rides I wouldn't build in it, but I still like it for the most part. And rides in here that you still haven't seen. I mean, Lakeside Twister is one of my favorite in the whole park. Really good stats. Really like how compact it is. I love the station, one of my favorite stations I've ever built. Oracle, one of my favorite Twister coasters I've ever built. Really big. I really like how it sprawls out. People love it. People used to hate this ride until I changed a few things. Vertigo, love this thing. Love how compact it is. Sky Screech, it's a big one. That's all I'm gonna say. That one, maybe get a video one day. I really liked how I did this kind of island area. This kind of walkway here. Kind of like a little smaller rides. Kind of cool. Quiet, more chill area. One of the first roller coasters I ever built in this park was Mechanical Beast. Man, I name a lot of things Beast, don't I? Stealth, one that's never gonna get a video, but I still kind of love it. Ballistic, absolutely love this thing. Still one of my favorites today. I love this lift hill where it kind of goes round, then multiple loops. Stats on it are really good. People love it. Moving on to another park. Now we're getting really modern. The last park I finished, Rose Lakes. This is my most recent park I finished, but I still think I might add stuff to it. I don't know yet. You start on a hill, instantly go down the hill, which I love. I kind of love it that this railroad track goes over some paths and stuff. Mount Clemens, really early ride, kind of goes around a whole lake. Well, 2, I guess. Love how that looks. Water Limit, love the look of this. Looks awesome. It's so small, but it doesn't have to be big, and it still does very well. Mega Drop, video coming soon, not gonna spoil that. Oh, actually, you can see it now. Mega Drop, yeah, you see the Mega Drop, blah, blah, blah. Tomb Raider, if you did, from the YouTube short I did on this, if you didn't get where the color scheme is from, it's from Tomb Raider Cradle of Life, came out in 03. That is where the color scheme is from, and that's actually where the music is from in the video. So if anyone got that, good on you. Late edition was the Endurance Circuit. I really like this. Kind of just squeezed it in, but I think it looks nice still. The 3 Monkeys. So now the names are the exact same names from the 3 Monkeys park. You see the design looks very similar to another roller coaster with the same name. It reminds you a lot of this coaster, doesn't it? I wonder where I got my inspiration from. So I loved this roller coaster as a kid. I was just kind of exploring parks and I saw this one. I'm like, man, I want to redo that one. And I just kind of did it in my own style and I love it. This is still one of my favorite rides ever in a Roller Coaster Tycoon game. Love it to pieces. So yeah, you can kind of see, you can see the inspiration for it a bit. Altitude. This used to do well when it first was opened, but now it does terrible because it's in a weird spot. A lot of the, honestly, I don't think there's really a bad ride in this park, which is what I love about this park, but some of them are just in really bad places, so they do bad, like as far as customers and stuff. Like at first they did really well, brought a ton of traffic to that part of the park, but now because they're so old, they just don't get that anymore. And I can go ahead and reset all that if I wanted to, but it's fine. Just kind of shows the age on certain ones, but some of them still do really well if they're well located. That one, just poor location, but I really like the look of it. I really like the colors on it too, with that kind of light green and white. Pink Star. Yeah, don't know why the stats are so bad on this. They should not be that bad, but they are. And I love the way this looks. Another one of my favorites, Type R. This was a late addition. Another one that I always forget about is Grip Strength. Kind of really small. Still looks really nice though. That's kind of it for this park. The only one that might get a ride feature eventually would be the Appalachia Rail, which is mostly, it's kind of like half above ground, half below ground. Kind of see. Yeah. Big coaster. Like it's a solid 2-minute coaster, I think. We got Orange Stream in here, which is a late addition. This was supposed to be a water section of the park, which I'm not happy with. This could have been so much better. Just a bunch of water rides. I'd never really finish it out. That's why this kind of whole part here is kind of empty. Same as like this is all empty space. We are now going to go to my most modern park. My current park actually is Trinity Hills. Up front, we got Comet, just kind of right at the entrance. Really like it. Looks very nice. Then over here, we have Inverted, which is kind of a custom coaster. Probably my favorite side friction wooden coaster that I've ever built. Pretty good ratings, honestly. Seaside Ride. Love the name. I really like the way this train goes across the river. It's kind of a lake, I guess. Yeah, it's a lake. Kind of goes across the lake like that. It's one of my favorite parts. Ripjaw. This is one of my favorite rides I've ever built as well. That being a hyper twister, but looks very nice. I love it. Another custom one is Coastal, which is a hybrid coaster. I really like it. This used to be actually a different one. I don't remember what it was before I changed it to this, but I just think this looks a lot better. Obviously, you can tell it's still in development. Obviously, there's going to be something here eventually. There's going to be something here eventually. There's still a lot to fill out in this park. Steeple Hill, track 1 and 2. Probably my best steeplechase I've ever built. Really good stats for both of them. Steeple chases are hard to build right because of their speed, because they lose a lot of speed. They also don't gain a lot of speed, so they're kind of hard to build. But I always like doing them as dueling coasters if I do it, because I just think it looks better. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of this one. I would add a lot of scenery to it, but I love how it looks right now. This is a big coaster. The stats are not as good as I want them to be, but I still love the look. One of my favorite quad coasters I've ever built. I wish the stats were better, but I love it. I want to do scenery for it eventually. Levels and Layers. Did not have a great name for this one, but I love the look. Small, fit, custom one, another custom one, and then the Cyclone 600. I name all of my go-kart tracks Cyclone something. V-Loop. Yes, one of my first successful hyper twisters. Or hyper coasters, I should say. Good stats. Looks nice. I like it. One that has not had a feature is Erosion. Kind of a big ride. I like it has a launched lift hill. I think it really kind of sets it apart. I really like the sign that I did for it. Other than that though, I think that's gonna be pretty much it. Besides, we got Big Bomber over here in that kind of tucked in area. I really like that. Sepia and Maroon Cove. You're probably wondering where the names came from. It came from their color. Maroon and Sepia. That's where the name came from. But I think it works really well for it. I think that's it. I know I have other parks that I didn't show off in this because they're ones I either downloaded that were like online, and I downloaded them to see what they were like, and I added to them when I was a kid. And I don't exactly remember what they're all called, so maybe I'll do a second video on that eventually, and let me know if you'd like to see something like that. Where I go through and try and find even more of my oldest parks. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for today. I hope you all enjoyed this kind of different video, but it feels kind of nostalgic going through what I built when I was a kid and now what I build now. I still love this game to pieces, and I think I always will. I don't play it as often as I used to, but I'll go into spurts now where I'll play it a ton for like a week, and I won't play it for another week. Just because of other games, life, you know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Let me know if you'd like me to go through other parks as well, because I will definitely do a second video on that. This was really fun. Yeah, until next time, I'll see you later.